Hello YouTube, I'm Andrew Does Hair. You can find my work on Instagram at Andrew Does Hair. Today I wanted to do something that this is literally just for fun, like don't take it too seriously. I was watching a video by the Bread Pirate and he got me thinking I want to try to do a Link haircut. I very much enjoyed Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I played just about every Zelda game. I'm not even like a gamer, I just like Zelda. Anyway, so I thought for the fun of it, and because I happen to have a long blonde mannequin, I'm gonna go for a Link haircut. Now, looking at his hair in the latest games, on the top side, like if you ignore the length and the weird sideburn things, he kind of just has a normal haircut. So that's what I'm doing here on the top, is I'm just starting with like a normal mid-length square layered haircut. He kind of does like this side part swooshy thing with it, and it's not anything that's like that crazy. It's funny too, because you look at Link and you go, oh, he's got long hair. But if you like block the bottom half of his face and you just look at the top, he's got short hair on top. So Link actually has like a shag haircut. That's essentially what we're gonna do here. So now that I've got the top cut into square layers, what I wanna do is take the bottom and over direct it all the way straight up and connect it at the top. So Link's haircut is actually surprisingly simple. Like if you hung him from his heels and you just cut a straight line across all of his hair, you would have basically a Link haircut minus some refining. And so here I just want to like work all the way around the head and grab everything and pull it straight up and just cut it to a straight line to meet the same plane where I had already cut the top down to kind of like, again, just like a regular medium length square layered haircut. Now, on a regular real human who wanted an actual nice looking haircut, I wouldn't do exactly this technique. There is a sort of problem that I'm going to point out here in 1 second. Basically, the perimeter of the haircut, because I'm pulling everything straight up and cutting it to a straight line, it's going to mirror the shape of the hairline. So in just a second here, actually, you can see it right now as I'm speaking. If you look at the length on the bottom, there's like a gap where the ear sits. And on a regular real human, there's like steps you would take to not have that happen. But because we're doing Link's haircut and he's kind of got that long sideburn thing, it's perfectly acceptable. We can leave that little weird long bit. But it's kind of interesting, that shape there at the bottom of the hair perfectly mirrors the shape of the hairline itself, which I guess means that I cut it right. You pull it straight up, you cut it to a straight line, it's going to mirror that shape from where it grows. Anyways, now that I've got the rough structure of the haircut down, I can go in and start blow drying. The thing about Link's haircut is like Link doesn't have a haircut. He has a freaking hairstyle. Like if you're a cosplayer and you want to have Link hair for an event, don't go to a barber, don't go to a hair cutter. You need to go to a stylist, like a wedding stylist, somebody who knows how to do updos. Link freaking has an updo. He's got scene kid hair actually. So the key to get this kind of really piecey, choppy, chunky look is you're gonna have to cook the hair. Bonus points if it's bleached. That little bit of damage in there helps it to get that gritty kind of feel to it. But if you don't thoroughly blow dry the hair, it's not going to separate. It's not going to move in the kind of way that like Link's hair does, or like anime hair, as sometimes my clients will request. So it's like the product is only barely responsible for that end result. What you really have to do is go in and polish everything. And so once I had the hair rough dried, I went back with high heat and low power and some tension from the brush to just try to defrizz everything, get everything as smoothed out as I can. And you can kind of see as I'm pushing it around with the air that on its own it's starting to separate. Now, nothing's been texturized yet. This is like completely blunt cut, but even with this blunt cut, you can see it moving and separating nicely because it's been so heavily polished. So now that everything's polished, I can go in at the root with high heat and low power, followed by cold air to sort of set the roots in the direction that I want the hair to move. Your hair works a lot like a fabric. Like if you take a hot t-shirt out of the dryer, it's going to stay doing whatever it cools doing. Now in the back here, when I kept looking up Link's hair, I was finding so many different variations. Some were much longer, some were much shorter. So I kind of went like, I don't know, medium length. And as I'm looking at the video now, I realized I cut it kind of crooked. This mannequin would not stay still. The little stand was so wobbly. So that's what I blame the crookedness on. Anyways, now that I've got the length to a point that I like it, I want to go through and texturize everything. When you look at Link's hair and it's really piecey and really choppy, that is cut in there. Like you cut in pieces of hair, chunks of hair. And I do this with like most haircuts. Like you want to texturize almost every haircut. But in this case with like the polished blonde hair and really big chops like that, that's how you're going to get that Link movement, that piecey anime looking like real chunky hair. So the blow dry has a lot to do with it. The cut has a lot to do with it. And even here, as I'm moving the hair to test it, to see if I texturized it well, you can see with like no product yet, even just wiggling the hair, it starts to separate and piece apart. So this technique, the whole texturizing thing, direction has a lot to do with it. You want to texturize in the direction you want the hair to move. It's a whole long story. It's for a much deeper, more thorough video. At this point, I'm going to put in a little bit of product. This is 80H dry. It's very lightweight, but it's very sticky. And this is going to cause the hair to kind of stick to itself and rough it up. And it's going to give it that warrior texture. I'm missing something. Link has an updo. I got to go get a rubber band. At this point, you'll see kind of what I meant when I said, like, Link doesn't have a haircut. He has a hairstyle. Like, at this point, I feel like I'm doing an updo. I feel like I'm doing a wedding hairstyle. And, you know, I'll say, like, I can get Link's haircut done, right? But this style, this took a lot longer than I expected it to. Just imagine there's pointy ears sticking out of this, and I think it'll look a lot closer than what I actually did, but I don't think I was too far off. I was limited with this particular mannequin by the length at the front. Like, it already had bangs, and I feel like maybe it could have been a little bit longer in the front, but here we have it, just for fun, just to see if I could do it, just for the fun of it. Here is Link from Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom, and that was actually quite a bit of fun. I hope no human ever comes in and asks for this, but to cut on a mannequin, like, that was a fun one. Thanks for watching.